saying that sometimes a great teacher teaches only once to a single child or to a grown-up past hope. It seems we've had several such teachers, and their names have been Isaacs. My particular great teacher was Nanny. She taught me two very valuable lessons that have been a continuing enlightenment. The first was music. She taught me how to whistle. But more important, she taught me the sound of laughter has over any condition that seems threatening. But if you listen carefully, you can probably still hear me whistling up Fair Street late at night after seeing a horror movie, and I will still hear Nanny whistling. She did not have much materially, but she had happy thoughts, and she expressed them by whistling a happy tune. The second lesson I learned, there is more than one way to look at anything. I remember when Nanny lived in the house at the corner of 4th and Church. This corner used to flood during a rainstorm, and during one such rainstorm, I became quite upset as the water rose toward the door. Still, I remembered the Harpeth out of its banks and people forced out of their homes, but I shall never forget Nanny holding me close and showing me that the raindrops were actually little people dancing heavily in the pond that used to be the front yard, and some of them were colored. See there, over there in that muddy spot? A whole new world seemed to open up to me, a world of wonder and hope, a threat turned to laughter. It was interesting to see that Isaac means son of Jacob, Isaacson, and that Isaac means he who laughs, laughter, joy, singing, leaping. Isaac was not noted for his achievements. He represents a serenity, peace, and joy that a man has when he accepts spiritual things as real and lives as seeing him who is invisible. But you know, Isaac was put on the altar and was about to have his throat cut by his own father. Things were about as dark as they can get for a body when suddenly Abraham's hand stopped. I'm certain that Isaac got up from there laughing, and to this day when things get really dark, you can hear an Isaac laughing or whistling. Not too long ago, Julie came home from Baskin-Robbins, where she had been taken for a treat by some friends, saying, "Guess who I saw? I saw Lori's mother there." I didn't know who she was until she started laughing. The birthright had been passed on. I remember the Christmas tree at Dear Mama's and the sound of laughter, the minstrel shows, the jokes, the horsing around, singing, happy sound of laughter. After Ding Daddy's funeral, we all went up to Nanny's and talked about all the funny things that had happened during his lifetime. The sound of laughter. Ding Daddy's spirit was there in full voice. And this is how we will remember Harry. The quick step, full of spring, as if any minute he would leap for joy. The quick wit, full of promise. The bright, expectant, almost mischievous look in his eyes. The genuine, down-to-earth sense of humor. The sound of laughter. It must be a pretty lonely experience to wake up after death and find yourself in a very unreal situation, especially if you're an Isaac and all you can hear from back home is sadness when you tried so hard to leave the family down there laughing. I believe it would help straighten out the confusion if he heard some good old laughter. Then he could laugh with us, and I'll bet Isaac himself and all the Isaac's brothers and sisters would welcome him with beautiful celestial tears in the eye sound of laughter. God bless the Isaacs, for they have blessed us with laughter.